Okay. Hi, guys. Okay, let's
Hi,
say hi,
Kim.
ladies.
Yes.
Okay, so let me start by saying I'm very excited. I wish I could like literally jump up this chair. Like in my head, I'm like, "Yay! The pilot episode is happening!
Congrats, girl. Congrats.
Thank you so much for taking time out to be here and having this conversation with me. And one of the core reasons why this podcast has started is because I strongly believe there are conversations that are being placed on the back burner and we need to have, right? We've all had our share of experiences growing up, and there's a next generation of women that are looking for a narrative to hold on to, and if we don't start to intentionally shape that narrative, then we're in trouble. They would be, their narratives or their mindset or their beliefs will be determined by what the media tells them, but what I want them to see via this is real conversations from real people, from real women, and not just celebrities. This is not about aspire to perspire. This is what every one of us go through, at the end of the day, and that's why we're having this. So thank you and welcome to No Ordinary Conversation.
With no ordinary Eyitemi.
Yes.
Okay.
So my name is Eyitemi Adeboale, but I like to be called No Ordinary Eyitemi because, there's nothing ordinary about my life.
Energy.
Yes, so, and here I have Temitope Babaoye.
Hi. Influencer of life,
As
lifestyle
in-
connoisseur.
I'm telling you,
Prime Minister of Enjoyment.
Minister of Enjoyment. I was going to ask you about that. Like, where did that come from?
Because I don't like stress. Life is too short. Let me just enjoy my life.
I can
please.
imagine. And with me is the one and only Toby Donut. Okay, I know. So we work together for the records, right?
Yeah.
We work together, but I've never asked that this. I don't think I've asked you, where did donut come from? Because first time I heard you say Toby Donut, I'm like, why would someone give themselves a food name
Like you and not even a very exotic like
like donuts?
Toby croissant or something. Donut. And it's donut 20 naira. So it started when I was in I think just 2. I just got back, so I had the IGGB vibes in secondary school. And my secondary school was like normal secondary school. It was in Ikpaja. So there were some boys that used to follow me up and down. That fateful day, I was shouting 20 naira donuts, 1 limca.
Like at a talk shop or something.
Yeah, the talk shop for during lunch break, and they were there. And they're like, okay, so you that used to catwalk I'm from the London and stuff, you can actually eat this kind of thing. And then they started chanting, donut. And then it was annoying at first, but it stuck, and everyone started calling me my school name Donut, then Toby Donuts. And I kind of liked it, and it just grew on me. So everything nowadays is associated with Toby Donuts, like my brand, what the things that I like to do. So yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I have the Prime Minister of Enjoyment and I have Toby Donut with me. Doesn't get any better than that. But more importantly, I have 2 fantastic ladies with me who are charting their own path in their various fields, and they are doing fantastic, and which is why they are here today. So we'll just dive in, right? This is a conversation. We're just going to relax and just have fun with it, right? This is this is about ambitious women. Right, there's this implicit concept in society that when a woman is driven or she's pursuing something actively, they begin to look at her like she's overkilling. Why are you doing that? And I remember vividly, I've had friends, and I don't know if you've experienced it, right? I've had friends whose mothers will tell them that, if you do this, if you buy house, if you are driving this kind of car, you can't get. So it's funny, and I think there's more to it, and that's what I want I want to know what your thoughts are about women. Is it a taboo? Is it wrong for us to be driven? Is it? Why? Why is society frowning at it? And I'll start with Tim. So I just want to get your thoughts on that.
See, honestly, it's really crazy because it almost feels like as a woman you have to apologize for wanting to be something. Like everyone is just against you, the system, your family, everything, even other women. And that's like the crazy part. We're supposed to support each other, but it's like, auntie, rest. Your own is too much. Do you get? And it's not supposed to be like that. Like you almost feel like, wanting to do something, wanting to be something, like there's a limit as to, you know, where you can go. And if you get this, I mean, you can have ambition, but not just so much ambition. Like, yeah, you can go to school, have the masters, but why do you really need a PhD? Just stay with your husband and take care of the children and the home, you know. And it's very crazy. And I think it starts from, you know, the orientation we're giving, like growing up. You know, every girl child from when you're giving birth to, where we're taught to be nurturers, you know, from a tender age, any small thing they'll say, exactly. Like, is that what you're going to be doing in your husband's house? And there's so much pressure. It almost feels like, you know, the plan and the roadmap for every woman's life is, so go to school, finish, get a degree, get married, the end of life. And nobody prepares you for, okay, what comes after? So what if my life doesn't really go in that order? What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to give up and just be like, oh, fuck it, sorry, can we swear? Oh, fuck it, my life didn't turn out great, you know. And it's crazy because if you look at guys, they don't, like, nobody is teaching them, you know, how to be a good husband. Women are taught to be a good wife, you know, bring peace, give your husband peace. But is anybody telling the guys, like, also make your wife happy? You know, it's like give and take. One person shouldn't just be the only person giving. You get really exhausted. But men, even from the games they play, from the things they do, like ambition is one of the things. Like they have like this go get it attitude. And then women were just, it's almost like we're supposed to be just somewhere in the corner, you know, there but not really there. You know, you're there but you're not really there. Just stay somewhere in the background and just be like. So I really think that, you know, it's time for women to just really stand up and talk and, you know, just raise the next generation of women that come. There's so much in life than just being a missus. Like, it's okay to, you know, want to be someone's wife, you know, companionship is great and all, but like that's not the ultimate thing in life. You know, there's so much more to, like, your purpose, your life, you know, making impact, doing the things that make you happy. There's so much more to that, because if you don't do that, you're really going to be unhappy, you know, joining to somebody else and watching somebody else do all the things you want to do, but because, you know, people told you can't do it, you can't do that, oh, don't drink too much, don't do this thing. And it's so crazy because I've had, you know, recently I was at an event and then a guy friend came and then he was like, you are still chasing this money, won't you marry? Time is going, like, and I was like, are you kidding? Like, time is going, there's no time on our side, you know that. Shebi, are you 30 now? And I'm like, no, but like, we're old though, just marry, like, it's not even that. And I'm like, so do I just marry because I need to marry, not because I've actually found someone that or because, oh, I'm doing too much, like, and you know, it's just sad really. And society, we need to do better.
You know what I hear from what you've said right now, and there's something very fundamental I want to draw up. There's something about, my father is an educationist, right, and it was from him I heard the concept of nature and nurture, right? So there's something about nurture, the way we are orientated. So the way girls are brought up, the way guys are brought up, right? So what I hear you say is that ambition, it has its roots in the way we are brought up, right? So the way you raise the girl child versus the way you raise the boy child, you get what I'm trying to say. Toby, what would you say to that in terms of what is obtainable now in society, right? With regards to how the girl child is being raised and how the boy child is being raised, and how it ties to whether they become ambitious or not.
All right, thanks for that, Tammy. So the thing is, it's quite an exciting time, you know, in the world. There's a lot of advocacy for the girl child. Yeah. There's a lot of institutions helping the girl child, you know. There's she codes, she rides, she leads, she fights,
she jumps,
you know. It's lovely to see, and I'm happy that, you know, this kind of conversations are happening. The ones that are happening outside are happening. You know, a lot of girls now, they can see the future. They're seeing things differently. Yeah. And I think even parents are raising their girl child differently. Thankfully, I was raised to be, I wouldn't say really raised to be ambitious, but I was raised to know that I can do whatever I want to do. I mean, I was telling a friend earlier that at some point I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be a dancer. Yes. I wanted to be an actor. and I was at every step of the way. Whatever thing I said I wanted to do, I was supported. I went for competitions in school, debating, drama. Support was there. You know, I wanted to, go out to the girls' guide, travel. Support was there. So what you guys have said, that the way you raise your child is very important. So, and okay, I grew up for the longest part as an only child. So I was able to, I think I was able to dream differently. I was able to dream for, for myself. You know, sometimes, as you have younger ones, you're dreaming for everybody. I mean, now I dream for multiple people. I have a brother and all. But then I really wanted to be so much more. I was inspired by Agbani in 2000.
Yeah.
I saw that, I watched that recording, and I told my mommy, as usual, I want to be a model, but I was short. But I went for auditions, So,
oh, you went for modeling auditions?
Yes, I did.
Are you serious?
So I'm really thankful for the way I was brought up, whatever thing I wanted to do at that time, it was supported.
So I went to Federal Government Girls College, Oyo. And when I was in school, it was a girls' school. So we had the blokes and then we had the babes.
Blokes in girls' school?
No, so girls, we acting as a bloke now. So tomboys. That's where I got my tomboyishness from. Yeah, so we had the blokes and we had the babes. So I kind of associated with the blokes. And then our uniform was a skirt and a blouse. I joined the SS1. And so back then, girls with straight legs, slim straight legs, they were considered like the... Have you seen my legs, right? You see my leg, right? My legs are conventional now. And they now used to call me yam legs.
Yeah, they did that a lot. Yam legs, especially when you have this thing here.
It's cows, people, cows. And it's so sexy. It took coming out of school
to realize
that cows were sexy.
And they're like normal.
I was so oppressed. I started looking for... that's when I started wearing trousers. My style changed, my fashion sense changed. I like, let me just hide these legs so that it doesn't fit the straight the construct of society that they wanted. And that brings it back to this. So there's this thing that says that if a woman fits into that narrative, she gets certain privileges. She gets access to more opportunities. She's preferred. She's able to enter places that people can't walk into. And I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that. Right, and I just want to get your thoughts on that. Let's call it fine girl privileges. There's some places that you get to now because you're a fine girl.
Yeah,
they will just
treat you well,
pay attention to you, listen to you. You get what I'm trying to say? And there have been so many women who do not fit into this bracket that have missed opportunities. So how do they reconcile for people who don't? And by the way, everybody is beautiful, right? But for people who feel that they don't meet that construct, how do they reconcile it in pursuit of their own ambition?
Okay, so for me personally, I can relate to that because, when people look at me, because I have travel marks, and then when people look at me, they expect that I'm going to be this Yoruba spewing kind of person. And then when I start speaking, it's almost like, why she can't they form? And I'm like, oh God, like this is me, like born that side, And now I sort of enjoy, at first, you'd be a little shy because you already know that just from the way people look at you, already know that this person already has, that notion about you. But then I always love proving people wrong. So people don't, and it gives you the advantage because people don't expect you to be smart.
So you catch them by surprise.
When you say something and then when you speak, they have to listen because, okay, she gets sense. Like, do you get so... I'll just say, just work on your self-confidence and just know that, it's okay, pretty privileged, but people can't deny value. If you come to the table, if you come correct, that's what I always say, if you come correct, if you know your onions and you know whatever it is that you're coming to do, yes, pretty privileged might work, but there are certain doors that, it might take you in, but it won't get you to the table because yes, you got in, but when it's time to show the results, get the actual job done, can you do it? It boils down to, can you do it? Can you not do it? So it's just working on yourself, so I used to practice a lot of, public speaking and then just talking to myself, self-love, a lot of self-love. And I feel like, that's also where the enjoyment mantra came. I'ma do me, I'ma live my life, live my best life, enjoy my life because this life is too short. And just everybody has their own opinion, but the most important thing is how you view yourself and how you just decide to portray yourself to others and how you decide to shine your own light. Because eventually if you don't tell your own story, people would tell it for you. People would see you and just assume things, and then because you don't want to talk too much, or because you feel like, oh, this might not work here, let me not say this particular thing, it won't be appreciated, and then people just assume that's who you are, and then you pretend for so long, and then when you now finally come out and start to show your true self, people now say, oh, what changed? Not knowing that all this while you weren't actually being true to yourself.
And I think that thing you're saying is it resonating. I was going to ask you, right? So I remember the first time I saw you, and your energy was what caught my attention, and it took my attention away from your tribal marks. I didn't see it. It was there. I saw it, but you get what I'm trying to say. But I didn't see it. It wasn't your identity. And I think that's the thing, because again, it's funny. I don't think that anybody can successfully pursue any path outside that level of confidence. And we all have that. There's one thing we are insecure about. But so dealing with it comes with being able to achieve, attain that height or pursue that path that you want to, right? How have you been able to do yours, Toby? I mean, what are the insecurity, ambition? How do you?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, for me, I'm plus size, so.
We're plus size,
but I'm fine. I'm fine AF, guys.
No, we're curvy. We're curvy. That's the new language.
Yeah, I'm voluptuous. I'm thick. I am. It's really crazy. But the good thing about this thing here is whether you're fine or you're not fine, ambition no face. Do you understand? Value addition no face. Knowing the right people. I mean, that might no face, but ultimately, like Tokwe said, at the end of the day, is your value to the table. And remember, sometimes we talk about social capital and how all these things work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just knowing the right people, even if you're not fine, but you know them. But I think, to be honest, everyone is fine in their own way. It's what she has said also, self-realization. If you know that you feel like you're not so fine as other people, what do? You put on makeup, you wear lashes, you do like micro shading.
And is that being vain?
It's
do you
not.
think
it's
it's
not.
being vain? You don't think it's being? Some
Because
people say it's being vain.
I don't think
in this
it's
life,
being
you
vain.
need to understand.
You need to help yourself.
You need to help yourself. You need to understand some things, and you need to be able to either. It's I know about this in school that is, you fake it till you make it. There's another one. You either join them or you leave them. I can't remember those.
If you can't beat them, you join them.
If you can't beat them, you join them. So for people listening, I'm not saying you have to pretend or you have to by force join or become something. No, I mean, I've not seen I don't know if you guys can see me. My brows are like this. I've not done micro shading, whatever. I'm still gonna do it though. But you can still do these things. They're not bad. Like girls that are doing BBL now, society, some society are against them. I mean, to be honest, it's your body.
And I was going to ask you, sorry to call you out, I just want to get, as in just now that it's coming up, right? Do you guys think that in any way, buying the bum or buying the hips or buying the flat stomach and all of that, does that in any way take away from them as women?
My love, it doesn't take,
because some people do it because is this fine girl privilege they're talking about, right? They feel that
instead it adds. It's value addition. I'm telling you, it's value addition. Bring it.
I think it's your body, and everyone should be allowed to do whatever it is they want to do.
Be allowed to do whatever you want to do. The only thing now is everything is still tied to self. So you've done this thing. Are you now becoming addicted to doing more surgeries that you now become botched, or you become really like whatever? Or this is enhancement. People enhance themselves in different ways. Some people enhance themselves, they go for master's degree. Some people go for better job opportunities.
Physical, it can be mental.
Physical, it can be mental. Just at the end of the day, you know yourself, you know what's good for you, and you need to know the things that that can help you to get the ladder. So I'm not saying people that do these surgeries are in some sort of industries or they are attracting some sort of people. No, some people actually do it for themselves, not because they want to attract people to feel
good,
confident.
So just my darling girls and women, do what is going to make you happy. Do what is going to make you get to the next level, either by advancing yourself in terms of your mental capacity. If it's your body, I mean, it's just like saying people that wear makeup, they don't have sense. No, everybody wears makeup now. And there's this way when you do your, especially lashes. I love lashes. Oh my god! By the time you put that thing on,
I don't know how you guys wear it. It feels very
you feel
heavy.
different. Like it brings out your face.
Eyes.
Although, I agree. You know Zara in her office.
Zara, I'm going to the place she has recommended today to go and do my lounging. Maybe that person tells advert later. Mention your name. But honestly, my darlings, do you? But I want to quickly answer that young question. That does finding out privileges exist? Yeah,
It exists, right?
It does.
And it's a problem. So how? So
I don't think
imagine
it's a
you are.
problem,
Imagine you are seated somewhere, vying for the same opportunities. You have what it takes here, right? But maybe you don't just look as hot as the next person, right? Well, how do you maneuver that situation? Unfortunately, society is pretty vain.
Actually, very
Society is vain, and that's the problem. So you see yourself fighting, or you don't even get a chance to prove yourself at the end of the day.
To be honest, I mean, that makes sense, but thankfully I've not experienced that, and I'm not in an industry that also there are different industries and sectors. Like in the beauty industry, you have to find
It's
a way to stand out.
cutthroat, yeah.
But I haven't experienced that. But I mean, if I find myself in that situation, I mean, thankfully the good thing about me that I know myself is that I know how to talk well. I know how to talk well.
I agree.
I would talk my way into something. I would look for somebody that knows somebody. I would find a way to get into that door, and not just get into the door. Have a seat at the glass ceiling, or at the table.
Yeah.
Be present, right? Thankfully, I am fine. But I mean, in a situation whereby there are finer people, I mean, there are always finer people.
Always be.
It's just to find a
There'll
way.
always
See,
be.
there's
Not
nothing
even
that there's
subjective.
not. It's
Exactly.
subjective actually.
It's subjective.
There's nothing that you know how they say. There's nothing that's impossible. I mean, it can be hard. You might not get the opportunity that day. Maybe at a company you went for an interview, but trust me, you still get a job.
And you see, I think that's where the beef comes from. The women's where they say women hate on each other. So while I've seen beautiful women, really hot women who have beauty and brains, but I've seen women also who are beautiful, but there is nothing here.
Yeah.
So what happens is that you that has something, you are not given the opportunity to bring the value to the table. They now pick someone who has nothing. And so and I think it's something we need to address as women, right? So when we now see a fine girl, it's like this thing in the US that says when someone is blonde, automatically you assume that there's nothing.
Yeah,
we need to stop that actually though. Just because somebody wears makeup and person has the body and the person has the hips and the person did the butt doesn't mean they don't have anything. Everybody should be given an opportunity to prove themselves.
I like that narrative. I like that you flipped it. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody should be given.
And women, I think that's something we need to tell ourselves. We say that a lot. So because the girl is not responsible for your complex. You can't blame another girl for your complex.
The fact that
if she's hot and she has straight legs and she has everything and the bum and she's vying for the same opportunity as you are, you can't begin to have a complex because of how she looks.
Exactly.
You
know, and that's where that's the conversation we are not having with ourselves.
Yeah.
So with the thing that you were saying the other time about, so what helped me earlier on in my career, because to be honest, my girl, now I even feel like I'm less ambitious. I have to fix that.
Why? What changed?
I don't know, maybe before the end of this podcast we forgot it out and you guys will help me. But early on in my career, my university contributed to that. I was so ambitious. I wanted to get things done. I even think it was right from secondary school. Most of my girls, they wanted to be like World Bank president. They wanted to be the first person to do this. You know, I read Ben Carson's books. It was,
did you read that book?
Yes,
when he came when he came to Nigeria itself,
oh my
I went to go
goodness.
and meet him in TBS.
Sorry, did you see that tweet that says all of you that are doctors now because of Ben Carson's book? How market?
How do you feel? Exactly. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
Books. I wanted to be a doctor too.
Yes, I wanted to do. Oh Lord, I wanted to do many things.
Random as in gist, right? I literally broke up with the guy because of a book I read.
Anyway,
As in, and I'm trying to make a point about how powerful books are.
Really powerful.
And books actually are part of what shaped my ambition. Because that was the time we were introduced to Ben Carson, Abraham Lincoln. We were introduced to the biography of men, Martin Luther King, Henry Ford.
It's crazy. You know? Books are helpful. I spent my days. I was surprised they gave me a standard girl. I thought I was going to be library prefect. I used to be in the library. You find to be in the library. I read all the encyclopedias. I knew all the presidents of America. No, I was just like, I was the secretary of student council in secondary school. I was guest guy president. I was like, girl, I'm going to do some. I'm going to do so. I wanted to go to Yale. I was going to, do everything. But like, thankfully, it stayed with me till like my early 20s, and I was able to. I mean, I remember I joined Beambiz. So I mean, Beambiz is a great organization. I volunteered for them. All them motivational speakers, upcoming and up there. I would go for their meetings. I would, I volunteered for a lot of events. I would go out for CCOB is having this thing, they are meeting this, I would go.
I think that's how you ended up knowing the whole Lagos.
Yeah, well, sort of. Honestly.
Because you can't walk.
No,
have you tried going out with
I
Toby?
feel better when I'm with Toby because I won't go bad past my own.
Oh my goodness!
So that's
people
great.
that you cannot walk with you,
That's
and everybody's
great.
saying hi.
That's great.
Hello.
So I like that.
I love it sometimes, but honestly, that's going out. We have to. So that's the thing. You have to go out.
So
and
there's something
network.
about your circle right now. Talking about your circle. So I mean, the information we consume, because that's what I hear right now. The books we read. Funny enough, so because we grew up around the same time, we read the same books. We were exposed to the same material, and those things kind of gingered us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My question is, or my concern is, what's the next generation consuming?
TikTok.
Not TikTok.
It's really bad. I read a piece about it the other day. It's really, really bad. The person said I logged on to TikTok around 8 in the night and I got off TikTok 3:30 a.m. She didn't know. And to be honest, anytime I go on TikTok, which I go once a month because I know, I will spend like 3 hours there.
And you don't realize you're just
Do you
laughing.
understand? You're laughing. You're
I
like,
think
ooh.
adults in no grill, because my sleep now is priority A. I don't know how people go as in spend all those hours on it. But that's a good question. That's a question we should be asking ourselves. What's the next generation consuming? And is what they're consuming enough to drive them to be? And I wanted to come down to something, to the crux of our conversation again. Why is society so mad? Why are they so upset with women breaking ceilings? Why? So when it happens, you see them applauding. But if the woman tells you her journey, I've had somebody who has told me before that I was too ambitious. I've had people call me, instead of them to call me Temi, they'll say business school.
Well, they're intense.
As in that I'm intense.
Or you're bossy.
Yeah. And then to make it worse, if you see that you're ambitious and you're driven, then you start getting words like, oh, she's rude, she's proud, she's arrogant, she's
She
so
thinks
full
she
of
knows it
herself.
all.
Why? My question is, why is society so upset? I don't know. I don't know. Why? What's the problem they have with women thriving and being in the forefront? Why?
So off the top of my head, I think it also, boils down to where we're coming from. So you know how, back then men didn't have to do too much to they didn't have to bring so much to the table. I mean, all you had to do was probably go out and kill a goat or a ram, and then you come home and then your wife is worshiping you. Oh my God, you're the best things in sliced
the
bread.
hero.
All they
just
had to do was provide like basic stuff, and that's it. But right now, like women are making. There's so many women earning more than. Do you understand? Like there's so many women earning more than men. Like, so if it's only money you are bringing to the table, guys, please come correct. Like, do you understand? Like, so I think that's, and the world is like, women are becoming more aware of themselves. You understand? Like that, I can do this, that. I mean, it's not just a man that's allowed to be successful. And I think, because men have gotten so used to the concept that all I just have to do is provide. Me, I just get money.
Yeah.
That's it. I forget any babe. Do you get? But the narrative is changing. Like, women are making their own money as well. So what else would attract me to you? Like, if it's only your money, like, I'm making money as well. So what other value? Like, can we have intelligent conversation? So it's almost like there's this power shift that's really going on, and
they don't know how to handle it.
Exactly, because men were not even right from time, which it's not really their fault as well, which is why I also feel like, the next generation, like our generation of parents, like, we have to be very intentional about, the type of men that we're going to raise, because women right now are more driven. Like, there's so much effort on, the girl child, what she's supposed to be and everything. And I feel like the next generation of women, they're going to be like times 100.
Yes.
And then you can't now place those women with men that will just be very laid back. Like, there's just going to be so many issues. So I just feel like, men just need to know that, times are changing. Like, you have to, what else are you doing? Let's start teaching men, this is how to be a man. Like, it's not just about money.
And at the risk of sounding as if it is a gender thing, I think that, because some people might look at, they're blaming the men again. One of the things that has happened in the course of our society is that the decision makers, those who set the rules, those who are in the places of power and influence and control, are largely men.
Most of
So
them
they
are.
are the ones who have been setting these rules.
The
And so,
policies.
yeah, the policy.
Crazy.
So when a woman now begins to act like an outlier or someone, I mean, different from the rules they've laid down, then they look. I think they look at it as rebellion.
Yeah, that's
They
she's not
view-
submissive.
Yes, they view ambition as rebellion.
Did you guys? Sorry to cut you.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
fine.
guys watch Jonita Jackson's proceeding, like Supreme Court proceedings? in the
No,
United
no, but
States?
no, you can talk about
How crazy it was.
Oh, the black woman.
Yes.
Yes. I
See
saw
how the
some
men
part
were
of
just
it.
bringing her down left, right, and this
Of
is a woman that
course.
have had access and privilege all her life. So it's really bad. Like, but thankfully, like they say back in the days, power must change hands.
Yes, so
It's
And
changing
I think it's
hands,
okay
and
to
there's
if,
really
if
nothing
that's
anybody can
their
do about
definition
it.
of it, then I think it's okay to
That's
be
fine.
rebellious if that's it.
That's fine.
Because I know that there are a lot of married women that are very, very unfulfilled
and unhappy.
and unhappy.
Unhappy.
What bothers me the most is that before our time, many women. So you imagine when a child is growing up, a child is a child. You hear questions like, "What do you want to become?" I want to become a pilot. I want to become a dancer. And as she grows, or when she gets married, all of those things they go to
Yep.
the back burner, and then they say that she's supposed to be a helper.
Yeah, help him.
Help him, and then she helps him to the detriment of
herself.
her own dreams.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. And so the moment the woman begins to be, the moment she says, "Oh, I have my own dreams, so I can help you, I
Well,
can
I'm going to
support
chase
you,
mine as well."
but I need you to support me too." Once she starts to dream, there's a problem.
That's changed.
You hear things like, "Who's going to pick up the kids from school? Who's going?
Or
Hello."
that she has started sleeping
Or that-
around.
She started sleeping
There's somebody
around.
that's pushing.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
that narrative.
Like it's so old.
That
Let's move on,
narrative
please. Let's
is
move on.
troubling. And so you see women saying, "I don't want wahala. I don't want them to label me or accuse me wrongly.
just want peace."
I just want peace." So because you want peace, in the name of that peace, you abandon your dreams. You abandon
You know
your
the funny
desires.
thing? A lot of these women abandon their dreams, but guess what? They are still the one doing the work. They are still the one paying school fees.
Yeah.
You know, they are still the one. They never pay. I lost the contract. This one, that one.
They are still stepping
I have
up.
They are stepping up.
I once heard a narrative, and it's very funny, and I think it's very, I can't forget. You were talking about how men need to ensure that their wives are empowered. So,
Yeah.
for example, if a man is at 10 and his wife is at 10, if anything happens to him or his income source, he will not go below that 10.
They can maintain
Because
that
that's where she
lifestyle.
is.
Yeah.
If a man is at 10 and a woman is at 0, I don't know.
That is
I
the
mean,
end.
Voila.
imagine what
Like this.
happens, right? So, and I think that growing up for me, I've never been one who want to be a housewife, and I don't have a problem with those who want to be housewives
Yeah.
because we are different.
Yeah.
But you can do it with a lot of ambition.
Yes.
You can decide to say, I want to raise the next neurosurgeon, and be intentional about the kind of school your son goes,
His
the kind of education he gets, the kind of people he mingles with. Some people devote their lives to that, and it's fine. But let it be that you are being a housewife because you want to be a housewife, not because somebody put a ring on your finger, or because society has said they will look at you somehow. And it bites me.
Yeah.
It bites me. It pinches
Please,
me.
in case you're an housewife and you're watching this, you can be a content creator and be an housewife.
It's funny now,
It's a
right? You can even
vlogger.
you can be a vlogger.
I'm
You
telling
can
you.
be a
So many
chef.
things.
Be
Yeah.
cooking.
You can be cooking
showing
from
how you're
home.
cutting onion and frying.
So I think it comes down
You make your
to
money.
in society when you talk about ambition now, you talk about so the more ambitious you are, by default, the more money you should make, right?
Yes, and that is cool. It doesn't work out that way.
It doesn't work out that way.
necessary.
But because you want to, in your quest to make more money, in your quest to hustle, in your quest to pursue the bag and get that thing, then that's when they begin to give you names. And that is really the problem. And I really, I mean, in one word, what's the one thing you would tell the next generation of women? Somebody who is just maybe finishing university, or who is just even in secondary school, or somebody who is just coming out or just finished serving, with regards to ambition, what would you tell them? What would you tell them about ambition? What would be your golden words for them?
I'd really say don't apologize. Don't apologize for wanting the best. Don't apologize for wanting to be at the top. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be sorry for having dreams. You don't have to be sorry for, you know, wanting a particular type of life for yourself. That's how it's supposed to be. But, you know, because we live in a world where, okay, dream, but don't dream too much. You can dream this one, don't dream that one. Dream this one, don't, like, it's like there are like things that you can do, things that you can't do. But like, I'll just say, go after everything you want, because if you don't, you're going to end up, you know, you don't want to go after something for 10 years and then you end up really bitter and miserable and sad. And, you know, it might be hard at first. Like, I spent 7 years reading law. And then I woke up and decided that this law is not it for me.
So you never practiced?
I want to go, no. I want to go into.
Sorry, how did your parents react to that?
Oh my God. My dad flipped. Like, you know, they literally thought I was having like a midlife crisis. Like one of those things where, oh, Shireni, like, she'll come back to her senses. That, do you understand? Like, it was one of those things. But like, I knew, because like, and it wasn't that I wasn't good at law. Like, it just didn't make me happy. Do you understand? And it also didn't fit, you know, what I saw for, like, knowing the kind of and another thing I'll say is you have to know yourself. Like, I'm a very dynamic and flexible person. I don't like to feel stifled, like boxed in. And with law, it's that sort of regimented profession. Now lawyers are great, amazing, and intelligent people, you know. But for some people, if you're a creative, you get it. Like, you don't want to feel like your life is routine, doing the same thing every day, waking like it's so, you know. And I didn't want that, and it was so much of that. So I wasn't really happy. And then, but every time I did something like marketing related content, you know, I'm thriving.
Energy.
You know, like there's just joy. And I was like, maybe I should go to happiness. Hopefully money will follow. Do you get? Because then it wasn't even about the money. It wasn't about the money, because I mean, starting out, you don't even know anything. Who wants to pay you? You know, I started as a copper, like, who wants to pay you? But I was just like, you know what, let me just do this. And I'm happy I did, because my dad passed recently, and I thought about it, like, so imagine if I gave up
your dreams,
doing what I really wanted to do,
to please
and
him.
I spent 7 years, you know, trying to please him, because of this is what he wanted, and you know, this is what my family expected of me. And now he's gone, you understand? Like, he's lived his life, he's gone, and I'm here like, it's my life now on my terms. So would I now wake up now? Is it
now and
realize that I wasted 7 years and I want to start now?
Like more than 7 years, if you had continued on that path.
Like, would I now say it's now that I want to actually start doing what, like, so that's just what I'm going to say. Like, just go after it. It might not, you know, even if it doesn't work out, trust me, there are certain things that you learn and you pick up along the way that you don't know where it would come in handy. Like, even now when, you know, I do stuff with clients, because of the law knowledge, like, there's certain contracts, there's certain terms, there's certain things I see, and I'll be like, no, don't sign that.
The knowledge
like,
is not lost.
So knowledge is never lost. Like, don't think that, okay, maybe you're thinking of and to anyone out there thinking of a career switch, you know, it's never too late. Change, as long as you're not
People
happy.
are switching to tech now,
you know. Texas
is the new oil.
Tech. I changed generator plug. Texas.
That's it. Oh, I sort on Excel.
I'm a Texas. It's crazy.
Like, so just don't feel like, you know, you have to be this person. If you feel stuck, like, it's okay, move. Like, just do something that, you know, when you get up in the morning, you're happy. Like, you just feel like at least you're doing something that you enjoy, because life is too short.
Life is short.
Life is really short.
It is.
There's I'm doing you know, when you are listening to something and it's sinking, you're saying horror. I'm sorry, the Yoruba girl in me will not. You know, it's funny. It's funny how you talked about your dad, you know, wanting something different from you, and I think that might also be a reason why many women have not been able to have that level of ambition. They're doing what they don't love, and you can't have ambition outside what you love. Like, if you don't love it, I'm a comms person. I can talk. This thing I'm doing, I can do it from now till next year. As in, they used to call me, as in, I have energy. If I enjoy it, I'm in it. So I think that is one thing. And it's something that you said, and I think it applies to every area for women. Whether you are choosing a spouse, whether you are following a career path, whether you're making personal decisions that can alter the course of your life, you must ensure that you know yourself and it resonates with you. Because like you said, at some point, our parents will go. They will go. So if they say marry Brother James, and you marry Brother James because they say marry Brother James, and you don't love Brother James, after they go, it's
you
still
go
going to be
there.
you and Brother James.
Yes,
If
so-
after they go, it's even very far. From the wedding day,
Nah.
it's you and Brother James.
You and Brother
Sorry,
James.
James. If you are listening to this, you know.
Lord.
But ambition is tied to knowing yourself. I think that's what. So we've established a few things. One, the way kids are nurtured, the way they are raised. That's one. Two, your network. Those that you associate with, the materials that you consume.
Yes.
And TikTok is fine. It's fine.
Yes.
But if that's all you consume, do you know how hard it is to have this kind of conversations with women? And I'm being realistic now. I'm not saying there are no smart women, but it's easier to find guys you can converse with at this level than women. You know, I know somebody that there is, if it's not a celebrity, if it's not a celebrity conversation, the person cannot say pim. But ask her what this person wore to the AMVA last year, what this person wore to the Oscars last year, what
Who
this
made
person
it?
she downloaded, and maybe that's an area of interest for them. Let me call myself out. Let me not be judgmental, right? But again, it's troubling when people can't say, they can't hold a conversation for 1 minute or 2 minutes, you know, and express themselves and, you know, be articulate enough for you to know, oh, this is what this person is
Yes.
made up of. You know, I think those are things that we should think about.
Yeah.
So we do not. I know your energy, as in you are charged. But
Ginger.
as in Toby is
Ginger.
so she
Ginger
blows my
mama.
mind. I'll be honest, she blows my mind because as much as I like to talk, Toby likes to. She can be here. Toby's Saturday, non-work day, can be like a work day. As in,
Timmy,
you'll be seeing
stop.
heavy rain. You see her status. You see, she will say there's traffic. I'm like, where
Where you
go too long?
Where you dey
You
go?
go too long.
My
But what will you
darling.
tell young girls about ambition? What would you say to
Honestly,
them?
dear young girl, dear young Toby, young Tope, young Timmy, wherever you are, honestly, I would say that you don't have to have it all figured out, right?
I like that.
You don't have to have it all
too.
I
figured
like
out.
that.
Me too.
I think that's
That's
say-
very key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say a lot of funny tweets nowadays.
True.
The women in their 30s that out there, they are basking and enjoying their 30s. They have more clarity.
Limau.
You know, they have you know, one actually a friend of mine, she was like, no, it's not like her 20s were bad. I mean, she went to school, she really got clarity, but she's enjoying the clarity sessions of her 20s or of her early years now. So you don't have to, I mean, things are different now, you know, these new generations, everybody they kind of know what they want, which is fine.
Yeah.
But just in case you don't know what you want yet, don't be scared. Banish every form of fear. I think you should try to do whatever it is that you can. I mean, no, it can't work like that for everyone. I changed jobs a lot before now, and it helped me. And some people feel like it's not the best thing, but trust me, it's not it might not be the best thing out there, but it's still one way to get to where you're going to. So that still piggybacks to you don't have to have it all figured out yet. So you might want to be a content creator now, and in the next 2 years you realize that, oh, I want to switch to public policy. My darling, that works. Don't box yourself in one profession or in one industry. You can always pivot. You can always transition. I mean, it's good to be disciplined though, right? So that you don't be like a headless chicken running around. Of course, guard yourself with discipline, but do not be afraid to explore, to leave, to try that thing you want to do. You want to try photography, try it.
Yeah.
I think we can do whatever we can 2 ways. See now,
Yeah.
Timmy's doing our podcast now. She'll go back to work on Monday.
Yes,
Tokwe does influencing on the side. She goes back to work on Monday. Me, I'm still figuring out a lot of things. I have many products that I have, but I still go back to work on Monday. So you can do as much as you can. Just so do not fear. Be disciplined, and just do you.
There's something beautiful that I've captured from you guys, and you said something that society will expect you to go to school, graduate, serve, and then get married. And then Toby, you said that you don't have to have it all figured out yet. And what that tells me, or what I hear, is that there is no one path to ambition. There's no path. It's not cast in stone.
Yeah.
Right? So
Definitely.
you can go this way, you can go up, down, down, up, left, right,
As long as you keep going.
Exactly. I
Just
think
keep
that's
moving.
it. I think that's it. And ambition is not a bad word.
It's not.
And that's the thing. And because the word has been vilified,
Yeah.
it's been, like, you look at it like, oh, that's the villain. And the word ambition, you're too ambitious. How do you even tell someone you're too ambitious?
Please, there's
As
nothing
in,
like
you're telling
that.
the person that you're too driven. There's a problem with you wanting something more for yourself. Kotie, it doesn't make sense.
Or the same men don't like women that think they know it all.
That is that one is another one. Or have you not heard of the case of people that say that men don't like women that know it all? So when you're with a guy,
Just
you try to
tone it down.
tone it down.
It's not everything you respond to. It's not everything you know
They are
about. Sometimes just
fat
act
Don't
like
do
you
that.
don't know.
Don't do
They're
that.
asking.
I'm not.
Please.
Have you had
I'm
any
so
personal
sorry.
experience like that before?
No, thankfully, I will be sensible people. Actually, but honestly though, and I want to say something here. Their ambition can change part time. You know what they say, like your goals can change part time. You know, and the way the Bible says, line upon line, precept upon precept, it reveals things to us. So if your ambition as a 18-year-old now is to be living soft life, you have someone that will be funding you. That's an ambition for now. Please let it change after a while. Right, so your ambition can keep increasing. You mentioned something to me recently. I think for you, even part time, your goals and your you're not saying, oh, I want to be maybe head of comms for like
nah.
aiming higher.
Yes,
so that should be something that we should always guide ourselves.
It changes.
Let it change.
Changes.
Renew. Look for things that will make you change and ginger yourself.
It changes. And I think at the end of the day, the critical thing to remember is that ambition is a journey.
Yeah, it is a journey.
It's a journey. It's not a destination. You know. So
it's been a journey. Talking to
this
you.
has been a journey. I've enjoyed
So much
your
fun.
as in your adventures. Now, as in you go alone. Like I was going to ask you, like
Most of the time, sometimes I come with friends. Toby will not pick a call sometimes.
Oh my God! I want to do better. I have to do better. Yeah.
But it's good. I'm excited about women that are thriving. I'm excited about women that are owning their own.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I know that those kind of women will raise powerful women.
Yes.
You can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
You can't give what you don't have, and that excites me. And you won't just raise powerful women, you raise powerful sons, because again you're able to tell your son that you have to come correct, you know, because the expectation has changed, and so he
Don't
knows
come and
from
stress
now.
somebody's child.
Honestly.
Exactly, you know,
Please,
the one that you say
somebody's
that
daughter.
he cannot cook, he cannot. It's a life skill, uncle. It's a life skill.
That's another
I don't
chapter.
like
Like
cooking.
if we unlock
Whoever that
it,
is looking at me now and say, "Well, I like this girl. I don't like cooking."
my dear.
You get a chef.
And it's
I will
okay.
try and whip some things in the morning, but please, it's minimal.
And it's okay. You know, those are the things that hinder women. You can't get the 9 to 5 because you say there's nobody that will cook for them.
He needs to eat fresh meals
Ah!
every morning.
That one.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one.
Lemao.
Did you watch that movie? Is it Mr. and Mrs.? There's a Nigerian one. Benjamin Inse Tim.
Oh yes, Joseph Benjamin.
Mr. Benjamin.
Yes.
I think she had to be pounding at 4 a.m.
Squeezing
and making
fresh
moi.
juice. Hey.
That can happen again when 2022.
You will be surprised to be that there are people that do these things.
And you know what?
Oh
eh?
yes,
will
I even
be
saw on Instagram
surprised.
this thing. I can't cook, but I see him. I've started to visit that trend.
Nah. You know what? The thing is that women, please hear, just from the beginning, just let them know
Who you
who
are.
you are. As in, make it clear that you cannot cook doesn't make you a bad woman.
At all. Oh.
It doesn't. What's the point of knowing how to cook and you can't even raise, you can't nurture people. You can't add any other form of value.
Please let's increase the economy. Let's help the economy. Let's buy food from vendors.
Food vendors.
money back into
Put
the
it,
system.
thank you. That's smart economics.
Do you
You
understand?
get it. You get
That's
it. And at the end of the day, the truth is that these things, this is my own mindset. And some of my colleagues, I've had guys legit say that it's weird, right? If money can buy it, if money can do it, if money can pay for it,
Oh my God.
I am
I'ma
paying
do
for
it.
Pay for convenience, my darling.
and I will free up my time
To do
earn
tangible
more.
things, to make more money.
Thank you.
To afford me the life that I want.
Yeah.
You have not
That's-
seen those that say that if she's not washing like this, if she's not doing
is
this one.
that?
Are you laundromat? I be
Hey,
pick and drop
this one.
laundry. I beg.
No cap. So honestly speaking, be you. And the truth is that why you think that you have to change who you are to meet somebody's standard, there are women that are being themselves and they are still meeting those partners that are encouraging them, right? If you like to cook, it's fine.
It's fine. Oh.
Be with a man that, and you meet a man that likes to eat. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. It's all right. But that you cannot
Go for
cook.
your kind.
Thank you. But you cannot cook. And then he says he likes to eat. And then you now decide that, okay, the time that you should be using to rest, because you don't like you don't like to cook, you not start cooking to please him. You can't do it for long.
You burn yourself out. Burn out.
You become unfulfilled, you know, and all of that. But yeah, it's a wrap.
Aww.
Yay, we
This
did
was
it.
fun.
We did it. Pilot episode, baby.
Pilot episode.
Woo! Cheese.